Hey guys, as always, thanks for stopping by. Governmental overreach. Yep, I'm about to get angry. Let's talk about that. Today's episode is brought to you by shallnotcomply.com. Apparel for patriots, by patriots, and they have a fantastic selection. Hey, good news, the reprints are in. All the shirts are back in stock, including, because you guys asked, sizing for you big corn-fed boys, so they've got extra big sizing right now as well. I'll put a link right down below. You can check them out again at shallnotcomply.com. Big thank you as well to all of you patriots. Every thumbs up is a huge help. I don't say that enough to you men and women. Y'all really do rock. I'll go through a quarantine with y'all any day. We're in a weird season right now. I know that's kind of like we landed on the moon and the sky is blue news. Weird times, and especially for patriots and folks that are constitutionalists, extra weird times. My word of the day, boys and girls, is watch. I think we need to watch, and I'm watching. I know y'all are as well. I sat down today. Y'all know over the last couple weeks, I've not been doing like really formal scripts where I read them. Those are a big help when I'm doing a lot of data and quotes. But for things like today where I just want to talk to you a little bit and get a couple things onto your radar, and we need to talk about this. Some important stuff in here that's happened this week. But I'd just like to kind of go through, do my homework. I did it this morning. And then the last thing I do before I say thanks for stopping by is I get a quick picture of what I want the thumbnail to be. So I get up really close and I point at the text that's going to be up there for the thumbnail. Y'all know those thumbnails. And the last thing I do is I kind of just look over and see, is this going to be happy? Is it going to be frustrated? Am I going to be angry? How do I feel about it? And it feels like over the last couple of weeks we've had like no good news. I'm not an alarmist. I'm not. It's not who I am. I tend to bring y'all pretty positive stuff. I love America and we're going to get through this and things are going to be okay. I believe that. But this week it's been one thing after another. This black-faced gentleman right here, I know what he did in Canada. I'm watching the Canadian thing. A bunch of y'all have emailed me. We're all watching this. I think we're all aware of what's going on in Canada. But this African-Canadian man right here has messed things up. And even what he did, I don't want to chase this too far, but even what he did was not voted on by the people. It was a non-democratic decision. That borderlining fascism, and I don't use the F word that often, that F word. So I'm watching that as well. Now, I told you guys a couple nights ago, and I don't want to get too far into YouTube stuff, but the leader of YouTube, the CEO, has said that we as creators cannot say anything that is outside what the World Health Organization's, their guidelines for the world right now. It's a bunch of globalist garbage. I got to get through this. We, as creators, can't say anything that is outside of the recommended procedures by the World Health Organization. One thing I want to mention, get this onto your radar. This is not happening. Don't go bonkers. It's just being talked about. But maybe we might be talking a little bit about immunity passports, having to have paperwork and show a card that you now have immunity to the you know what. The blueprint has already been laid out in England or in the United Kingdom, has been laid out as to how they're going to operate with this immunity, these immunity passports, and we're talking about it maybe for America. It's just talk at this point. Keep that on your radar. Now, the big one I want to talk about, by the way, and the reason that one's important, governmental overreach. It's too much. This is not what we signed up for back in the 1700s. Those guys that laid down in the fields of New Jersey and Massachusetts and New York and laid in the bogs and laid down and died in the brackish saltwater around New York in the summer of 1776. This is not what they bled for. And yet here we are having to have, and this is not about YouTube, but all of us having to follow oversight by a bunch of globalists. It's just, we're watching. I got to get through this. I'm trying. Governmental, I wrote down two words, overreacting by the government and overreaching by the government. So we're watching. Now, the big one that I want to bring to you right now, did you see this video? A lot of folks have. Have you seen the video of these county sheriff's officers, or deputies we would call them, that go down to a woman's house and berate her? This happened in Wisconsin, Calument County, Wisconsin. Let me play that video for you. If you haven't seen it, a lot of people are talking about it. Let me play it for you right now. I'll be right back to tell you what I think. I'm not happy about this. Go.
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
I'm Deputy Everhart with the Sheriff's Department. So, are you aware that we're in a stay-at-home order right now?
Yeah, obviously.
By the government
Yes,
of
I
Wisconsin?
am aware.
Okay, you're aware of that?
I am aware.
So I don't need to explain that to you?
No, you don't need to explain that to me.
I can if you need me to.
Go. You can because your officer was just here 2 weeks ago.
Okay, do you need me to explain
and
it to you
he explained it to me that you guys weren't enforcing that order.
Oh, we're about to.
Okay.
So you understand it though?
Okay, so why are you here?
Because your daughter is going to play at other people's home and you're allowing it to happen.
They were over here as well. So
Okay.
are you
and
here?
They've been talked to
Okay.
about it. So
No,
now
I
I'm talking to
understand.
you,
Okay.
and so either you can acknowledge it or you can argue.
I'm acknowledging it.
Okay, stop having your kid go by other people's home.
Okay, I acknowledged it. Anything else?
Nope, that was it. Apparently, there was some other
I
issue
acknowledged it. I acknowledged
okay,
it.
Good.
Anything
Thank you.
else?
Yeah, I need your last name. Amy, what's your last name?
I'm not. Is there a reason you're asking for it?
I'm adding you to the screen so we can document that we had contact with you.
Is there a reason for it?
Yep, because you're violating a state order, which is a...
If you let me finish, that's what I'm explaining to you. Because you're violating an order.
I haven't violated an order.
We're going to have documentation in our screen with your name because we're here talking to you about that you said you just acknowledged.
Okay.
So then there's documentation.
I would like to see the law that requires me to give you that information.
Thank you.
Because I haven't...
What is your middle initial?
I don't believe that I'm required to give that to you. Are
Away
we
from the
done
house.
here?
No, we're not.
Okay.
Your middle initial and your last name.
I'm not giving it to you. I haven't done anything wrong.
Okay. Perfect. We got it.
Okay.
And that'll be documented too that you're uncooperative.
Okay.
Yep, that one is bad. You can hear my voice is now shot. I'm not being dramatic. This is now take 9. I can't get through this second part without getting upset. And I don't want to put the raw stuff out there. If somebody always says, Johnny, just post that. No, we're not posting that one. I blow my voice out and I'm having to drink my unsweet tea. Every time that I show you all cops, people say, or I talk about cops, people say, Johnny, you're just anti-police. Not at all. Our local guys are fantastic. The county guys, extra fantastic. The city guys, they could lay off the radar just a little bit. But overall, bunch of good guys. They're all right. I'm anti-police state. I am anti anytime you roll up to somebody's house and intimidate them, intimidate a mom standing in front of her private residence. Now, there's a lot of cards we can play right now. I think here in America, we play the racist card way too often. I also think in conversations like this, we play the Hitler card way too often. Oh, that's just Nazi Germany tactics. Nope, I'm playing that one right now. This is Gestapo fear tactics being put onto the population in Wisconsin. I don't think this is an isolated incident, and here's why. The Calument County Sheriff's Office, they made a long and detailed response to this video, and it is utter, complete nonsense. They doubled down on this. This is a calculated effort to intimidate and enforce a bunch of garbage. Walking up to a mom, telling her what she can and cannot do with her child. And that's the part where I get upset. You can't walk up to a citizen and tell them what they can do with their own children. Is the child safe? That matters. We can talk about that. Is the child being mistreated? We can talk about that. But to say you can't have your child play at someone else's house, your next door neighbor's house, that is not the government's business. That is governmental overreach. And I won't back down from that. This is Gestapo tactics, fear tactics. Now, if you listen to what people say, they will tell you what they believe. They will tell you what they're thinking. What did this guy open with? Are you aware that you're violating an order by the government? The guy thinks he's speaking for the government. Listen here, bucko, in your polyester britches. Of the people, by the people, and for the people. First Amendment opens with some powerful words. Congress shall make no law. Now, I understand clearly. Stop your typing right there. I understand clearly that what they were talking about is not the Constitution and it was not a law enacted by Congress. I'm saying that the Constitution is the umbrella that covers all of us. Everything has to flow through that Constitution. Too often we lay that card, oh, what they're doing was unconstitutional. In this incident, clear governmental overreach. And then that woman has to pipe up, the other officer, I don't even want to call her an officer, some moron in an awful brown shirt. She says this, are you aware that you're being uncooperative? She says, I'm going to put your name on the screen. Yeah, bring that on. If that's treason, if that's uncooperativeness, sign me up right now. Of the people, by the people, for the people. This is not what the government was designed to do. This is not keeping people safe. We all know that this entire thing has been blown out of proportion and it has not been data-driven. None of this has been data-driven. It's been fear-driven. This is an absolute, complete nightmare for this woman. Now, the Calumet County Sheriff's Office, and I will put a link to this one down below, on Facebook, they made a long post to respond to those officers, and they doubled down. I think 5 times in that article, or in the post that they made on Facebook, they mentioned that that woman was in a mobile home. Why? Well, it's called a dysphemism is the actual word to that. And that's where we get the word diss her, to make her lesser, to make her worthless. Oh, she lives in a mobile home. And they said, oh, and the kid was over playing at another mobile home. Then they also have to bring up that woman's past traffic history or speeding history. Just nonsense. Calumet County needs to get a hold of themselves, and I do believe, and I don't say this very often, people need to answer for that nonsense. I'm upset. I think we all need to be mindful. I think it's something that all of us, not just parents, all of us need to be very careful of in the coming days. To watch this garbage that's being put out there, to watch these garbage. I can do this. I promise you. I promised myself I wouldn't go 15 minutes on this one. It bothers me, y'all. It really does. It bothers me. I'm not being dramatic. To see a citizen being intimidated like that. We have this joke that they say, I thought this was America, and it's usually said as a joke. It's a South Park reference. I thought this was America. I thought this was America, y'all. I think people are ready to stand up. I think people are ready to speak out, and I think this nonsense needs to change, and we're ready to go back outside. Not saying we need to be careless. I'm not saying that there's not a real out there. There's a lot of moving parts to this. It's not good, y'all. I'm watching it. I hope y'all are watching it as well. And to anyone who's out there intimidating parents, from my cold, dead hands, thanks. Bye.